Toxic best friend story time. So I had an off and on friendship with this one girl. In my freshman year, we became friends again. And she had this boyfriend named Nicholas. And they literally fought 24/7. And every time she would fight, she would be like, "Can you please fix this for me?" So she would have me add him on Snapchat, fix it, and then block him. And guys, this literally was happening like 5 times a week. And then after she asked me to do that the first few times, I realized she started going through my phone. And when I say my phone, I mean my whole motherfucking phone. A bitch was going through my Snapchats, DMs, text messages, and I didn't know how to confront her because that's just weird. So the one day I was getting ready at her house because we were about to go out, and she was like, "I'm grounded, can I use your phone real quick?" And I was like, "Yeah, just let me Snapchat this last person back." And she goes, "No," and rips the phone out of my hand. And she starts going through my Snapchat right in front of me. And I had a streak with this kid named Nick. She goes up to me and says, "What the fuck is this?" Like for part 2. Okay guys, I'm making the part 2 right now, and I'm literally laying in bed. I took off my makeup, and you guys have to realize that I literally do these videos at like 10 o'clock at night, and they get posted at like 1 in the morning, and then I go to bed at like 2. And for all of you commenting I'm clout chasing, bro, chill out. It's been like 3 hours. So anyway, she comes up to me and shoves the phone in my face and goes, "Who the fuck is this?" And I literally looked at her and started laughing my ass off. And she was like, "What the fuck is so funny, Kaylee, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Go ahead, hold on the name." And she held on the name and realized it wasn't her fucking boyfriend. So I packed up my things while she literally went and sat on her bed and started crying. She was like, "I don't want to lose my best friend." So fast forward, her and her boyfriend broke up. Her and I weren't friends anymore. And then she would always try to accuse me of getting with him. Moral of the story, don't get involved in other people's relationships. Bye, guys.
I don't like my girlfriend's friends. We've dated for about 3.5 months. None of her friends are in relationships as of right now, yet they all make fun of her for dating me. They make fun of how skinny I am. They'll take screenshots of my Instagram posts and send them to their group chat just to make fun of me. Stuff like that. In fact, their group chat is where most of it goes down. My girlfriend has sent me screenshots of the group chat, and it kind of pisses me off because I've never even met half of these people, and they all already give her crap about me. For those who I have met, the exchanges have been polite, and I was as kind as I could be to them. I just don't know what I should do or how I should proceed. My girlfriend kind of just goes along with it and laughs too, and I think she thinks that it's funny. I just don't know how to approach it or how to really bring it up to her. A lot of her friends are socially awkward and avoid talking to me. She says that it's because they're intimidated by me, but really, there's no reason for them to be, so I'm starting to think that's a lie. I was seeing a girl in college, and we actually lived quite close to each other, so we'd seen each other a little bit over the summer. I'd been to her house, met her parents, etc. She went away on a trip with the college choir, and her phone wasn't going to work while she was away, so I decided to surprise her at the airport when she got back. You know, be all romantic and stuff. So I'm waiting at the airport arrivals lounge. I start to see a couple of faces I recognize from college filter through. She then walks through. I start to walk towards her, and I realize that she's holding hands with one of my high school friends that also went to my college and happened to go on the trip with her. I'm not stupid. I quickly realize what's going on, but by this point, her dad has already seen me, walked up to me, and started a conversation with me. By this point, I'm reasonably sure I'm going to implode, and it's too late to get away. She's here, he's here. It's just really awkward. She tells me that we need to talk, and I say that we probably don't need to bother and walk back to the coach station for my 3-hour bus ride home. Storytime, kicking out my brother's girlfriend. I've been married to my wife for 6 years, and we have 3 children. I live and was born in the U.S., but my wife is from a different country and moved here 6 years ago. She speaks fluent English, but does have an accent. A few months ago, my brother started dating his girlfriend, and since they live 6 hours away, we usually don't see each other. Yesterday, my brother and his girlfriend drove to my house intending on spending a day with us and to introduce his girlfriend. Back at the end of December, my wife's parents passed away, and it absolutely destroyed her, especially since she wasn't able to go to their funeral due to COVID. When they got here, my brother gave his condolences and introduced his girlfriend. Literally right after we sat down and my wife introduced herself to my brother's girlfriend, she made a joke about her accent. I, of course, told her to cut it out, but around 10 minutes later, she started mocking my wife's accent again. After seeing how hurt my wife looked by the jokes, I was absolutely livid and told my brother's girlfriend that she needed to leave. My brother said that they have been driving for a while, they're hungry and tired, and that I should be more reasonable. I told him that he could leave with her if she wants. His girlfriend called me an asshole and went to their car.
My boyfriend proposed to me on Christmas. Everything was perfect. He bought me this beautiful Tiffany & Co. diamond ring. The ring was a little big, so I decided to go in to get it resized. They took the ring into the back and tried to pull up his information, but were unable to. After inspecting the ring, the manager comes out and shows me that it's not a Tiffany ring, saying there's no engraving on the inside. My first thought is he probably bought it used from someone and got duped. So when I got home, I asked him if he got it used and it's okay, but he flipped out on me, saying no, it's brand new from the Tiffany store. He got upset, saying I'm snooping around for the price of the ring. He told me I should have consulted him and he would have had it sized for me and that it feels like I'm going behind his back. So I did a little snooping. I went on his Amazon account and I saw that he purchased 2 rings. The first one was bought December 2nd, the one he gave me on Christmas, and then another one a size smaller last night. I'm not upset that he didn't buy me a Tiffany ring. I'm upset that he lied about it. I told him I didn't need the ring. He could have bought me a $200 14 karat gold band at Macy's and I would have been fine. Instead, he spent money on a box and 2 fake rings. He then confessed and said he got the box from his friend who proposed with a Tiffany ring. I don't know what to do.
Storytime. Is my food intolerance an allergy? I have a nightshade intolerance. In particular, potatoes, potato starch make me incredibly sick to my stomach. People tend to not take me seriously if I say I have an intolerance. I get sick even if my food is touching my fries or chips, yet sometimes waiters will ignore me and serve them anyways. For some reason, people think that an intolerance is a diet choice rather than an actual medical issue. As a result, I've started referring to it as an allergy when I go out to eat. On Friday, I was out to eat with some family friends when I mentioned to the waiter that I had a potato allergy. One family friend interrupted and said, "Oh, it's not an allergy. It's not like she'll die." Luckily, my mom was with us and immediately spoke up that while I might not die, I do get extremely sick, so it's important that I not be served anything with potatoes. Am I wrong for technically being dishonest and saying that I have an allergy so that people take my intolerance seriously? Not making my daughter rehire our neighbor to her small business. My 12-year-old daughter started a small business with money she'd saved up and even hired a few kids from the neighborhood to work with her. One of the neighborhood kids she hired wasn't doing good work, so she ended up firing them. I stayed out of it. The mother of the child my daughter let go contacted me and said her child was feeling left out now that they couldn't participate in the business and asked me to instruct my daughter to rehire them. I explained that I'm really not involved in the business at all, so I didn't feel right doing that. She said that that's all well and good to stand back to an extent, but when it gets to the point that it's exclusionary, it's my responsibility to step in as the parent, because now her child's feelings have been hurt, and that's more important than how lucrative my daughter's business is or is not. I told her I couldn't help. She was pretty flustered and said that I could help, but I was choosing not to. It got to a point that I more or less had to ask her to leave my house. I see both sides and worry that I was harsh in what I said to her, or should have given her concerns a longer hearing. But I don't know what else I could have said or not said to her. Am I wrong for refusing to intervene?
My sister and I have always been mistaken as twins. I'm 19 and she's 16, but we have the same height, skin tone, and similar voice. She also has a habit of being a copycat, from the way I dress to hobbies, even piercings. I know it's cute if you look at it from the outside, but sometimes it gets annoying. Like, yeah, we are quite close too, but why does she always happen to pick up everything I pick up? One afternoon, I was tidying up some costumes in my college showroom and found a rather cute brown and pink wig. It looks like a mushroom. I put it on, think it looks rather funny, so I snapped a picture and posted it to my Instagram. I received a text from my sister asking if I really cut my hair. I didn't mention it was a wig. While I somewhat have a feeling that she might copy that too, I lied and replied yes. I came home that weekend and lo and behold, my sister emerged with the same silly brown and pink bob cut, except this one is on her permanent hair. She was surprised that I arrived with my hair still long, then realized that I lied to her. She was furious that she had to cut that silly hairstyle because she thought I had it. Our parents think that it's a really bad joke and wanted me to cut my hair too to make it up to her. So am I the asshole for telling my sister I cut my hair when I really didn't? My mother-in-law is super passive-aggressive, rude, and disorganized. Leading up to my wedding, she always criticized me about my weight. After our wedding, she was kind enough to offer to store some of our wedding stuff. A year later, my mother-in-law announces that she's going to do a big vow renewal celebration. Thought it was a bit ridiculous for a 65-year-old woman on her 3rd marriage, but hey, it's her money. As the ceremony starts, the bridesmaids come down and then enters the bride, wearing my dress. At this point, I'm raging. My husband and I confront her after the ceremony where she denies and says I'm delusional for thinking it's my dress. I tell my husband we're leaving, but she starts crying and begging us to stay, swearing it's not the same gown. The next day, we go to her house to get the wedding stuff she stored. She gives us everything besides the dress, saying she lost it. After lots of screaming on my end and threats, she finally gets my dress. Lo and behold, it's the same dress she wore last night, except for the alteration of the corset and complete with her sweat and food stain from the night before. She starts sobbing and saying she thought it would look better on her because she's been working out so much and how she couldn't afford a new dress. I can now never wear my dress because she altered it to her size. I work as an assistant for a really big fashion company. We had a defective wedding dress and my boss asked if I knew anyone we could give it to. My best friend recently got engaged, so it was perfect. When she posted on Instagram to thank me and my boss, my family caught wind of it, and that's when the influx of calls came. I do not have a good relationship with my family. My parents kicked me out when I was 16 after I came out to them, and my sister wasn't much better. They demanded to know why I gave the dress to my friend and not to my sister. I didn't even know she was engaged. They suggested I try to take it back from my friend, as family should always come first. My sister even tried to call my boss to complain. I just got off the phone with my mom, and this is how the conversation went. She says my sister is very upset about the dress, and I told her she needs to get over it. My mom says I can make it up to them by giving her another dress. I posted one last night on my Instagram. It's a $12,000 dress, and that's the one my sister wants. And I told her, you expect me to give you a $12,000 dress when you kicked me out when I was 16? My mom says, that was a long time ago, and we're talking about your sister, not me. When I refused to give the dress, my mom says the least I can do is help her buy one. At this point, I hang up, and I've been avoiding them since then.